will continue until the transformation of the world ends. This is the final decisive stage for Earth's change. What else must the beings on this planet sacrifice for this journey to unfold as it should? What kind of appearance will a spectacular change bring to Earth? Please continue watching episode 27 on the Mindful Universe channel right after this. Density 3 killing. When 2015 came and passed, the situation in the Density 3 world became more chaotic. Sea levels continued to rise, causing erratic weather that led to crop failures and unprecedented widespread destruction. Those still clinging to the idea that they are in control will create new currencies and trade rules. But in reality, the problems remain. Some countries attempted to implement mandatory conscription but faced fierce opposition from their own people. Protesters lay down on the streets. Many had long lost their jobs, and some homeless people could do nothing but camp near locations where their leaders met to complain endlessly about how to control the situation. A few relatively enlightened leaders proposed drastic solutions, only to eliminate those trying in vain to return to the appearance of the world they once knew. Civil wars broke out in larger and seemingly better organized countries. Efforts were made to overthrow existing rules. But often when such actions succeeded, new leaders found they too could not solve the vast problems everyone faced. The depletion of natural energy sources became the main reason for war. All so-called codes of conduct and rules of war were ignored. In other words, everyone was only for themselves. At one point in 2015, the world population reached its peak, nearly 8 billion people. The exhaustion of natural energy sources along with widespread pollution and immune system damage increased death rates in most regions while reducing birth rates. Many genetically modified substances were used under legal standards, along with toxic metals in water sources, contributing partially or entirely to infertility in women of childbearing age. Additionally, there was the contribution of biological agents from extremist groups. Seeing no way out of the quagmire, many souls began seeking their own ways to prepare to leave Earth and reincarnate elsewhere. Mysterious, unexplainable illnesses, now becoming too common, were mentioned just enough in news reports. Until this moment, many maintained denial, reassuring each other that everything would return to normal. Younger people were more resistant and began refusing to follow strict orders issued by so-called leaders. Nightly, violence increased in major cities, often between young people and police or military. This escalating situation made military and police forces weary. Many even joined opposition forces and tried to overthrow their own commanders. The new Earth began to appear. Density 4 souls are thriving. They are developing new communication models and new agricultural models, starting to use scalar field electric motors that consume almost no natural energy sources and have virtually no operating costs. Another important thing is the return of beings from star systems. Although many had waited for what seemed like a very long time to reunite with brothers from higher realms, official contacts didn't seem as expected. Tika to save anyone or take anyone away. Initially, they probed with short visits to some developed communities. They never stayed long for fear of being trapped in Earth. They carefully selected witnesses, ensuring these Density 4 humans had sufficient emotional stability for their presence. For a few people, they would leave clear instructions on how to perfect technical devices. selling tickets to the after-rush star system, simply because newcomers weren't. A few selected members from each community were certainly on a path to ascending into density 5 light bodies. They were allowed to communicate more freely with extraterrestrials. Test issues, if it wasn't. The beautiful extraterrestrial souls visiting Earth had long learned the true meaning of not casting pearls before swine. They knew that only certain human beings could use divine knowledge from star systems wisely and for the good of all. After many past mistakes, they also realized it wasn't always easy to understand human free will. They had to humble themselves and acknowledge communication with humans. Respecting free will was difficult and very subtle. They needed much diligence and determination to understand the overall human spirit at a deep level. When 2016 came and went, the separation continued, but another major event loomed on the horizon. What was it? Although energies were very high on Earth after the 2012 gateway, with constant changes, something had begun to decrease slightly since then. Earth's axis had now shifted slightly due to scalar electromagnetic frequencies flooding in from stars near the central sun of the galaxy. One peculiar aspect of the 2012 gateway's effect was time compression. For many people, a day seemed to last only about 8 to 9 hours. Now, as Earth changed her position, days became longer, returning to about 12 hours, but still considered much shorter than in the 2000 period. However, a new energy began to be detected in enlightened people and seers. Scientists discovered a wandering star entering the solar system and predicted it would pass quite close to Earth. This divine object has an approximate 10,500-year cycle, and it was noted that the last time it passed by, there were geological destructions including life forms on the planet. Enlightened people already knew this wandering star heralded the appearance of the second wave in ascension, meaning these density 4 souls would experience a strong intensity increase. The density 3 world declined rapidly, with death rates now far exceeding birth rates almost everywhere. The combination of radiation from nuclear reactors, along with pollution from fossil fuels and alien viruses, was too much for the weakened immune systems of density 3 humans. For those souls, the passing of the wandering star signaled further destruction of their lives. Some would use this event to escape the density 3 decline cycle and enter the density 4 salvation path. They gently arrived at the new Earth and were welcomed by enlightened communities where the number of members in each community was about over 10,000 people. Throughout enlightened communities, a small proportion of souls are preparing for ascension into fifth density crystalline light bodies. These souls have reached a new level of understanding and are therefore often given positions in the higher councils of the light community. Some highly mobile individuals appear unaffected by the travel difficulties of the third density world. They rapidly develop additional spiritual and advanced intuitive abilities. A few can now teleport instantly from one location to another, although most still rely on traditional means of transportation. Some use new motor devices in the etheric field, while others are assisted by extraterrestrial beings. Those ascending organize classes for personal development, providing healing and advice for fourth density souls. Those needing additional help to overcome emotional and psychological issues. There are many pains needing integration surrounding the loss of family and friends. Some third density family members can contact their fourth density spouses, sons, daughters, and relatives. But most had lost contact quite some time before. Nevertheless, as the star approaches, some fourth density family members hope and pray that some of their loved ones in third density might ride the star's tail, ascending to the new Earth.
When the star arrives, souls notice a change in the atmosphere. Everything becomes transparent and sound waves become different.
Energy seems to crackle and pop loudly. The atmosphere appears clearer, as if you could hear the colors and textures of each distinct gas.
The northern lights become brilliant almost every night.
For some fourth density souls, it feels as if sound waves are passing through water, through pipes, or even through thick glass. Electrical energy surges through their bodies, and sleep becomes nearly impossible. Electron disturbances have destroyed numerous telecommunications devices and satellites used by third density people, even though it.
This, along with the widening gap separating the vibrational states between third and fourth density, essentially ends the connection between the two worlds. The new Earth is now truly separated energetically from the old Earth.
For all practical purposes, the two Earths exist in completely different dimensions with no overlapping areas.
Traditional transportation is nearly impossible, and fourth density souls release their remaining attachments to the old world. They focus on significant daily tasks like gardening, building, organizing workshops, and most importantly, heart-to-heart connections.
The years from 2018 to 2020.
Light communities have flourished and prospered, agricultural methods have been perfected. Although the Earth's climate had changed significantly by this time, the locations of light communities were precisely managed to yield the best production of food crops.
Highly efficient energy provided by free energy generators became the standard. Traditional healing methods became a way of life. New children from prospective parents had evolved highly on their soul journeys. Schools were built to accommodate the unique needs of these new children, completely unlike the broken and declining schools of third density. Importance was placed on self-reflection and self-understanding as well as developing creativity. These children grew up knowing they were living in a friendly universe full of beings of all shapes and sizes. They witnessed adults loving unconditionally and an abundant world. By now, much had disintegrated in the third density world.
Entire regions had been isolated energetically by the light community.
Young fourth density souls knew well they couldn't remain long in lower levels, as they could become contaminated by the constant bombardment of negative thought forms and fragmentation. Only those ascending to fifth density could move comfortably between third density cities without fear. Even so, this rarely happened, because now there were almost no souls in the collapsing cities who were open and receptive to enlightened teachings.
The dominant thought in third density was survival, which was becoming increasingly difficult.
Mature fourth density adults taught the new children about the previous world, and many of them found it hard to believe such a world could have existed. Some children had never incarnated into a world with war, and the idea that one human being would kill another was completely foreign to them. These new children could travel with their parents to visit other star communities, but almost all were forbidden from approaching a declining third density city. These young souls needed to be kept pure and build healthy new bodies, away from harmful thought forms. Of course, some brought issues from past lives to be healed, but because they were raised by a group of enlightened souls, this healing process occurred very quickly. These children didn't forget their past lives, nor did their spiritual and intuitive abilities atrophy or diminish as they grew up.
They were the first generation to grow up in the new golden age.
The years from 2020 to 2030. In the following 10 years, Third density civilization declined further until only a few souls remained in that vibrational level. The epidemic spread. All regions were heavily polluted,
particularly due to the decline in human density through mutation function. Most of them cannot resist the invasion of viruses, bacteria, fungi, heavy metal pollution, carbon monoxide, and radiation. About half of the deaths are the result of mutation decline, the invasion of microorganisms and chemical substances.
The remaining deaths, from many other factors, include famine, water scarcity, excessively hot or cold weather, war, floods, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. After 2020, war became almost non-existent on Earth.
Violence only remains as brawls between individuals or wandering gangs in places where physical survival is at risk. Economic crises and political instability have made it nearly impossible for density-free souls to travel using airplanes and modern transportation systems. Countries no longer have money or natural resources to equip their armies. In many cities, transportation is only possible by walking or cycling due to scarce energy supplies. In the enlightened communities of Earth's Density 4, a completely different picture is unfolding. Harmony has spread everywhere as more and more enlightened individuals process their emotional and psychological obstacles.
New farming methods and alternative energy sources are now stable, creating a new level of prosperity that is hard to imagine even for utopian socialists. There is an increasing number of daily teachings about ascension to Density 5. What is it? How does it work? And when can souls expect to enter the beginning, the light crystal body? Souls steadfast on the ascension path have experiences of Earth's childhood,
including the magical worlds of spirits, fairies, angels, gods, and all spirits of animals and plants.
For ascending souls, the world is a place of magical beauty. Everything sparkles and shines with a pristine aura only visible beyond physical sight. Their eyes, ears, and bodily senses have changed.
Now they see and hear a wide range of frequencies. Physical strength has also increased. They find themselves able to withstand very hot or very cold temperatures.
Their bodies rarely, if ever, experience pain or discomfort.
Vibrant life energy flows through their veins. The need for sleep becomes increased.
The need to eat gradually decreases until many of them become those who no longer need to eat, living only on oxygen and prana. Those who are ascending are the masters of the new earth.
They gather together with souls evolving at Density 4.
Courses and healing methods are established on a formal basis. They are wise advisors, while also being passionate practitioners keeping Density 4 communities healthy and vibrant.
The flyby of planet Nibiru in 2030.
As the decade of the 2020s ended, excitement rose again when an amateur astronomer discovered a significant celestial body approaching the solar system. It is about 1/3 the size of Earth and appears lifeless to physical eyes. But to the enlightened and ascending souls, this small planet reveals everything. The return of Nibiru means the presence of the Annunaki. The enlightened beings of ancient civilization brought both enlightenment and destruction. The enlightened Annunaki were aware of the state of affairs on Earth. In fact, some of the highest level masters on Nibiru were able to come to Earth using pure thought, even when the planet was still beyond Pluto's orbit.
When the Annunaki entered Earth's electromagnetic field, even millions of miles away, they saw the death and destruction of the density-free world.
Of course, the enlightened ones of the Annunaki race were ready to share their wisdom and knowledge about Earth's changes with the Nibiru people.
But it was still quite shocking for the average Nibiru people to see the scenes of destruction. Through lenses and sophisticated technological devices, they saw the flourishing of Density 4 light communities and the ascending ones shining brightly.
The Annunaki arranged the brightest and best of their race and prepared them to communicate carefully with members of the New Earth.
During Nibiru's flyby, at its closest approach to Earth about 25 million miles away, all the Annunaki who had communicated appeared.
During Nibiru's flyby, at its closest approach to Earth about 25 million miles away, many visits occurred between density levels 5 to 9 of Nibiru members and the enlightened human race. The Annunaki shared their wisdom and technology with the new Earth freely, more than they had done before with the ancient Sumerians and Akkadians.
This time, the Nibiru people knew that the human race would not misuse these higher technologies. Moreover, the Nibiru people had developed significantly since their last visit to Earth. A small number of Annunaki had once caused deception on Earth.
Now they want to heal and are willing to assist in a loving way in Earth's reconstruction. The many electromagnetic series that appeared as Nibiru flew close to Earth provided another opportunity to accelerate the evolution of enlightened humans, creating the third wave of ascension.
Now millions of surviving souls on planet Earth are firmly on the path of ascension to Density 5.
Earth's Density 3 population essentially no longer exists.
The population of Density 4 is estimated to be around 1.
They live in thousands of enlightened communities, from small farms with a few people to well-organized cities with about 100,000 inhabitants. By 2030, the last Density 3 individuals had evolved enough to join the Density 4 enlightened communities and were warmly welcomed.
The galactic transformation from 2030 to 2100.
The galactic transformation.
The galactic transformation began around 1950 and reached a critical point around 2015. This transformation affects the entire solar system and many areas of the galaxy and the space surrounding the solar system. As Earth continues to move through the anti-electron region, the isolation around it begins to be lifted.
With most dark souls having departed and negative alien races leaving the worlds around Earth.
Benevolent beings from across the galaxy can come to Earth and communicate with the more enlightened members.
Since the overall vibration of Earth has become high enough, they no longer need to be as cautious as before. During the period from 2030 to 2100, ascending souls reach a vibration level where they no longer exist to beings vibrating at density level 3.
Already spiritually invisible, they become undetectable by the devices of density level 3 scientists. Of course, very few density level 3 souls remain to witness this.
Perhaps a small number are living in caves or underground.
Even if they go underground to avoid pandemics and pollution, they will still experience immune system degradation issues similar to those on Earth's surface.
When souls complete their ascension, they radiate a brilliant golden circle or light energy field, clearly visible to density level 4 souls.
Psychic and out-of-body abilities continuously increase, and now they are fully attuned to Earth's environmental conditions. They move between two worlds. One is the spiritual density level 4 enlightened communities, where they teach higher truths and healing tools.
The other is the density level 5 world of angels, where they connect with various beings from across the galaxy. As this century passes, Earth begins to stabilize more with less climate fluctuation and a stable atmosphere. Now, the light communities are stable and most have found the best and most advanced form of government.
Often this government consists of enlightened councils of 12 people, each member responsible for a specific aspect of the new society.
Government members are sensitive to the community's needs and take significant steps to minimize ego behavior. Education is a top priority, as children need this to avoid resting on their laurels or indulging in trivial pleasures. They want to explore the universe and pose difficult questions that can only be answered through deep inner investigation. The agricultural system has developed, and evolved souls have abundant food sources to eat.
A highly refined trade and exchange system ensures no one violates the fundamental principles.
Souls on Earth live with a higher standard than even the wealthiest members of Density 3 society ever achieved.
Above all, they are truly happy. Gradually, with the support of advanced technology and extraterrestrial roots, they can expand their communities to take over abandoned areas of Density 3 cities,
restore homes and buildings, clean water sources, and rebuild factories.
They restore Earth back to its pristine paradise as it was before dark forces came to disrupt the balance.
Earth once again becomes the precious jewel, ready to welcome divine travelers with open arms. What will she do next in this beautiful form? We will learn in the subsequent parts of the message series from the creators.
Now, we conclude the video and close part 9 here.
Goodbye and see you again.